What do you think are some opportunities right now for blue collar guys that maybe not a lot of people are talking about?
I think the opportunity right now is the boomers, right? There's a lot of word online. Everybody's like talking about the gurus and stuff, but they're being honest. They're in the industry of buying these companies out. There's a lot of baby boomers, and what they're trying to do is retire. And I think we're in this 10-year time frame right now that this is the time to buy blue collar businesses, honestly, or start a blue collar business. With
Yeah.
all the AI that's going on, there's so much opportunity right now. And I really want to encourage guys that there's so much out there to help you guys set yourselves up for success. Even if it's not me, there's so many people out there that have a blueprint that worked for them. And I would just highly recommend, hey, find someone that's already did it, doing the path that you're trying to achieve. Honestly, like any kind of trade is a very low entry barrier to start a business. I'm such a fanatic of home services, and the people are amazing. The communities out there, you'd be shocked how many great communities are there
Yeah.
to help support you for free and give you
Yeah.
free advice. So
Yeah.
I think today is the opportunity for the next decade. Get started right now if you're looking at getting in the trades for real.
This episode is brought to you by Pierre Tax and Accounting, led by CPA Eric Pierre, a seasoned accounting and tax expert with years of experience helping individuals and businesses navigate complex financial landscapes. Whether you need personal tax planning, business tax strategy, bookkeeping, or financial planning support, Eric and his team are committed to helping you protect and grow your financial future with clarity and confidence. To get expert guidance you can trust, check out Pierre Tax and Accounting at pierreaccounting.com. This episode is brought to you by my friend Silas Lagoy over at ForgeMark Wealth. If you're a high-income business owner or professional and feel like you're getting crushed by taxes, you're not alone. And more importantly, you're not stuck. ForgeMark Wealth specializes in advanced legal tax strategies and wealth planning designed to help you keep more of what you make, grow it efficiently, and actually build long-term freedom, not just income. If you're making serious money but don't have a real strategy behind it yet, I highly recommend connecting with Silas and his team. Well, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Builder's Bible. I'm joined by Joel Mercado, who is a serial guy. He's got a contractor coaching business. He owns a pest control company. He's owned multiple painting companies. He's very well connected, and I'm excited to have him on the podcast. Joel, talk to me, man. What takes up most of your brain space every day? You got a lot of stuff going on.
Right now, it's actually just coaching. Really, at the end of the day, I'm on back-to-back calls now coaching, so my life's changed in the last 2 years drastically. But before that, it was all like just development and making sure my people were taken care of, and just high-level leadership training. Really, at that time.
Who are the types of contractors you're normally coaching? Is it across the board? Is it mostly painters?
At first, it was primarily all painters, but now we're doing full contracting. So I've got some landscapers, HVAC owners, things like that. So we've been really opening that and broadening it up for the contractors in general.
Let's talk about the painting business. Is that kind of where you got your start?
Yeah. So what a lot of people don't know about me, prior to that, I was in the gym industry. So I used to do pre-sales, 21 years ago. So my learnings of sales and business were opening up gyms. So that's where my background's in first. Then I got in the car industry, and then I got into owning a martial arts dojo. It's a really eclectic background, let's just put it that way. But then I kind of fell into the contracting world with my mentor. So he owned multiple painting companies. I knew nothing about painting at that time years ago, and I started learning from that and scaled multiple businesses, and then the rest of the story went from there, man.
With the painting, so I don't know anything about painting.
Okay.
You're probably one of the first people I've had on the podcast to talk about it. Like, what's the key to success? Is it volume? Is it pricing? Like, is it similar to other types of home service businesses?
I would say the same. Yeah. I would say, though, what a lot of people think success identifies to their business is they forget about the people, right? Do you have the right people in the right seats? And most painters, when I work with them, they're still on the tools. They're still painting. They're still answering the call. They're still the ones doing the estimates, then running production. And what they don't realize is the faster they get themselves off the tools, the faster they can grow their business, because now they can
Hmm.
focus on things. So I like to implement, a lot of people right now are in the VAs and doing the virtual assistants and whatnot. And I think it's really great. At the time when I had my painting company, I didn't have a VA. Now I'm like, man, I wish at those times I could have. But, I try to implement things like that for them because when they can buy back more time administratively, again, now their focus, wherever that goes, that's where the energy flows, right? So that's important. That's what I try to focus on first for them.
I love that, man. If you want to talk about VAs this whole show, I'm into it because I feel like that's like it's interesting to me because I've had on the show, I've had HVAC, plumbing, electrical builders. The places where I see VAs really taking hold are roofing and pest control. A lot of roofing and pest control guys use VAs. HVAC, not as much. Plumbing, hit or miss. What was the other one I said? Yeah, there's probably electricians, not as much. Yeah,
Okay.
although my biggest client, Joel, is a commercial electrical guy in Arkansas. He hires like 2 or 3 electrical estimators from me a month because they're doing data
Wow.
centers and stuff like that. And so prior to that, I didn't even know what the heck an estimator was or a takeoff. I had no idea.
Wow.
And now it's probably the number 2 placement that we do. But I absolutely, dude, I think stepping stone one to freedom for a business owner is an amazing executive assistant. You have got to have a human being blocking and tackling for you, and then implement AI to create other kinds of freedom. What's up, everybody? This episode is sponsored by ExitWise. If you're a business owner thinking about selling your company, whether that's now or years down the road, you need to know what your business is actually worth and how to maximize that exit. That's exactly what ExitWise does. They help you prepare, position, and ultimately sell your business by assembling a world-class team of M&A experts around you, guiding you from valuation all the way through closing. If you want to know what your business is really worth and how to increase that number before you sell, go check out exitwise.com and get ahead of it. What are you seeing? What are some trends you're seeing in home services and contracting now? Like what the direction that you feel like the industry is going?
Yeah, from when I first started, we didn't even have half of what people have now, right? Like I tell people, I'm like, man, what a world we live in now that we can do Facebook ads, Google ads. You can go to Angie, Thumbtack, and just get leads. Like I want people to understand, like we live in a world you could put $1 in and get $13 back. What a great vending machine, right?
Yeah,
So when I first got into business, that we didn't have Facebook.
right.
So going into that now, right? Having someone being a VA, the importance of that and the AI, what I first see in the next 5 to 10 years, if you're not getting into that right now, you're going to be left in the dust, right?
Yeah,
Speed the lead is super important. So someone answering the call immediately, are they getting
right,
back to customers immediately?
right.
Um, the attention for people now too, they say it's like a 5 to 7 attention rate where if they're looking at stuff on social media, they're moving on to next. So imagine if you're not answering your call, you're still on the tools, even if you're a plumber, electrician, whatever, if you're still installing, right, and you miss a phone call, how much did that cost you? That one phone call cost you more than having a VA. And I think a lot of people don't look at it that way. They just go, oh, this cost me X amount of dollars. It's not producing X for me. But how many opportunities are you losing by not having a VA answer that phone? And
Yeah,
then AI, I mean, on my coaching program right now with my paid ads, I have an AI that's answering at all time, literally messaging through my DMs, through all my Facebook advertisement. It acts like a human. So I have someone always answering and I'm watching them answer to them. And then I hop in when I'm not on a call and then I take over. So if you're not implementing things like that, we're just living in a world that things about speed and a lot of people are moving on to the next person, right? So if you're not thinking about convenience, you're going to have some issues.
yeah. So you've said it a couple times, and I love it. Getting off the tools. I've heard get out of the truck. What are
Yeah.
the 2 or 3 things that you could typically help guys do in order to make that shift?
Yeah. So, a lot of people, when I talk about coaching, it's not consultant, right? Like consulting and coaching are two different worlds. Consulting is telling you, hey, you need to do XYZ all the time. And this is just what it is. Just go do it. When you're coaching, you're also paying attention to the individual and what kind of life they want to live. And you want
Hmm.
to mold that for them, but give them the tools and strategies to buy them back freedom, right? So when I talk about getting off the truck or getting off the tools, the first thing is just stop doing the work. Now, when people come to me, they're like, Joel, I love sales. but I heard XYZ because they say if I'm in sales, I shouldn't be doing that. I mean, if you love sales, why not? Right? Go find yourself a production manager then. That way you don't have to worry about production. You don't have to worry about someone complaining about a job site or quality control. You hire that out. Right? So that's
Yeah.
the cool part. The business is really built for you to do whatever you enjoy. So if you enjoy doing production and you don't want to do sales, you hire an estimator. Right? So that's just kind of what I do is I build the vision based off their goals. And then if they feel really happy about that, then we're winning, right? So who's to say like you can't do this? That's up to you, right? So
Yeah.
we just got to give them the tools.
That's such a good word, man. I picked up a copy of Buy Back Your Time at a
Oh,
very rough time in my life. And I literally realized that one of the things he talks about is that I had painted myself into a corner where with my first business, I was doing all the stuff I hated. And so I literally became a different person. I was miserable. I was anxious.
yeah,
And it's so true, man. Today, like pick the two or three things that only you can do, right? If you love coaching, creating content, and closing large deals, you should be doing that, and everything else can be automated or eliminated or delegated, right?
100%.
uh, yeah, I love that. This episode is brought to you by 10x Nerds. If you're a business owner doing real revenue, there's a good chance you're overpaying in areas you haven't even looked at. Things like credit card processing, insurance, telecom, and more. 10x Nerds comes in, audits your expenses across 30 plus categories, and finds immediate savings. And here's the kicker: they only get paid if they save you money. It's a complete no-brainer. If you want to keep more of what you make, go check them out at 10xnerds.com. This episode is brought to you by Rakowski Law Firm. If you're a business owner or have built a level of wealth, but you don't have your estate plan dialed in, you're exposed. Rakowski Law Firm helps families and business owners protect their assets, avoid probate, and make sure everything transfers exactly how it should. This isn't just paperwork, it's a real strategy to protect your legacy. If you haven't looked at your plan in a while or don't have one, go to rakowskilawfirm.com. The pest control business, that's interesting. I talked to a lot of pest control guys. Tell us about that business a little bit.
Yeah, it's interesting. I know nothing about pest control. So I had partnered with my cousin about 8 years ago, and she worked for another pest control company. So that was my first like contracting business I ever coached and partnered up with. And we're located in Philadelphia. And I was like, I don't really know anything about pest control, but how hard could it be, right? And then I realized I was like, oh man, our average job size is a lot lower. I have to change this into more of a membership so we could do preventative maintenance. It's not one-off jobs like painting is, right? So I had to really change my mindset behind that and build that business. But it's really exciting to see different types of businesses and how they grow. So, and then I look at it, pest control. The beauty of that is it's a necessity, right? Like you're going to get a phone call if someone sees pest, right? Painting, I look at as luxury. So it's a little bit of a harder sell, but it is a higher ticket to sell. So that's what I feel about pest control, and I thoroughly enjoy it. So it's been fun.
All I know is that it's my new favorite home service
Interesting.
business. Yeah,
Okay.
dude. The pest control guys I talk to, they all rip. They do great,
Yeah, yeah,
and I'm in the pest control millionaires group, which is Jonas Olson's group, and there'll be guys in there be like, I just started. I'm already at 150 grand a month. Three months in, I'm like, bro, this
yeah,
this industry is incredible. And then you don't need the skilled labor. It's just chemicals,
yeah.
and it's all recurring. So it's
Mm-hmm.
no wonder that PE is just like falling into the space and loving it.
100%. Yeah.
The painting space, I feel like is it's interesting that you had your success there because I feel like there's a lot of compression there in terms of like costs, and it feels like it's a really competitive space. So did you find that it was harder to grow and scale that business?
Honestly, no. Actually, I think it's the polar opposite. Because at the time when I got in the painting industry, a lot of painters weren't doing the right thing, so it was really easy to win. I think now painting's harder to do if you're trying to open a painting company because everyone's catching up finally. So I feel like the painting world was kind of way behind versus HVAC, pest control, electricians, and plumbers. I feel like they kind of figured it out sooner than painters because I've noticed painters, they're just so passionate about the craftsmanship behind it that they
Mm-hmm.
forget that you need to make more money, right?
Yeah.
Because they didn't skill up on the sales side and closing on the spot and having a CRM and really having a built out system so that they can actually provide for their families. They were so obsessed with the craftsmanship, which I still respect. But at the end of the day, that doesn't pay the bills, right? So that's what I come into this space, and I've been disrupting it. And a lot of people don't realize, when you're in the painting world, only 5% in the US hit seven figures ever in the painting space. 19 out of 21 of my students last year, 90% of my students hit seven figures in their first 12 months with me.
Hmm.
It's a simple process, right? It actually is a very low cost business. You usually
Hmm.
just need a truck to drive in, have a sprayer, right? And open up an account and then know how to understand marketing. So my second location that I opened up, I used $5,000 to open it, and all 5 grand went to marketing. We did $1.2 million in its first year. So it's like the process is very simple, but the problem is now if you're trying to get into the painting space is a lot of younger guys are going in. I got guys 19 years old doing $3 million this year. They're 19. Like, it's kind of unheard of, right? So the industry is changing rapidly.
What I know you have it sounds like you have a mind for marketing. What do you feel like are some opportunities right now with marketing for home service companies?
I think a lot of people are failing at SEO. They think it's a dead um, concept when it's like the complete foundation of your digital presence. So a lot of guys don't want to invest in SEO because they're not seeing immediate gratification. That's not an immediate gratification. It's a long-term play, and it's the foundation of your digital presence. So a great website being built the right way, having SEO as a plan. So you got to budget that in. And then obviously over time, getting into more Facebook, being smart about your meta ads, because you got to fight against Angie, Thumbtack networks, all of those platforms. You're fighting against 5 other contractors versus building a system where you can actually be the only contractor they're getting quotes on because you've done such a great job on your reputation.
Yeah.
So that's my thought process now. It's changed again. So the landscape just keeps changing year to year. Because Google is really tough to work on now. Back then it was easy, but you got to remember you're competing with Angie, Thumbtack, all those other
Yeah.
platforms because they're
Yeah.
spending all that money on Google to even get you the lead.
Yeah.
So we got to be kind of smart where we put our efforts in.
I'm surprised at how few home service guys I talk to who are actively trying to figure out how to get found on chat and Claude and Gemini. I'm like, I just think that if you're not thinking about that now, you're going to get your ass kicked in the next 12 to
100%.
18 months. Yeah. Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's moving so fast, man. And then obviously, like, I mean, I can get really nitty gritty when it comes to marketing, right? It's even to the point of like the way we're naming photos on our websites and how that's a keyword search based on how we're doing photo
Mm.
names and behind the scenes, right? And when they upload
Yeah.
our photos and the compression size and stuff, like there's a science to this stuff.
Yeah.
And like you're saying with ChatGPT and Claude, if you're not putting yourself out there when someone says best painter in my area, you're losing out with AI already. So yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah. Okay. PE, it sounds like you've had an exit. I know there's certain things you can't talk about, but I'd be curious. A lot of blue collar guys, it's either you love it or hate it. It's either the spawn of Satan or it's,
Yeah.
amazing and they want to get minted and, ride off on the sunset. What was your experience like?
Yeah, so I was fortunate enough that this was with partners already. So I was in a partnership, so there was 3 of us. I didn't have to do like a private equity at all. So everything was in our own partnership on that. But I have worked with other partners where they've been bought out, and I know it sounds weird when I left the company. This was November already. It hasn't been that long. It's been about 5 months since I exited, and I kind of got lost, right? Like I thought being out of the company and having this new future built for me was the end all be all, and I kind of got lost in the mix of that. Luckily, I've had the contracting business already and the coaching, but I realized something that a lot of people don't think about when they get bought out. When they get bought out, they forget about what's next, right? And then
Mm,
they forget that they built this business and all these people are working for them and it's actually generating them income, right?
mm,
And then you have to start all over again and you're not even
yeah.
thinking about that. And now you're chasing this missing thing that you had already built.
Yeah.
Now you start to go in this other mindset and identity and you go, oh my gosh, did I really want to get rid of this company?
Yeah.
And I'm building another one. I'm going to do it all over again. So I kind of want to, anyone that's in your audience, I don't know exactly who is always listening to this, but if you're looking at trying to sell your company, start to understand why are you selling your company? right?
Yeah.
Is it the income? Are you trying to buy freedom and retire? Like, what does that look like? What's next for you? Think
Yeah.
with the end in mind, because I think that's important. I was very fortunate that I have multiple companies, so it didn't mess me up that much. But I think that's important to view before you try to get into PE and stuff
It
like
is
that.
interesting. Yeah. A lot of guys that do it, it's like, I only know this one thing. And I'm like, well, bro, go learn something else. Like you got to non-compete. It's pretty ironclad.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah,
or be building something like you were doing in parallel. That way it's not your only opportunity. Yeah.
100%, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's one thing we haven't talked about today that gets you fired up?
Oh, mindset. A lot of people don't know about me. My background is in neuroscience, neuropsychology, and hypnosis. And I've integrated that in my coaching, and I've integrated that in leadership training. And
Hmm.
um, it's something that I'm very passionate about, and I'm becoming louder about it in our industry, that people don't understand why I coach it, and how I've implemented it in what I teach.
You said hypnosis, and I'm like, what does that mean? So can you literally hypnotize somebody?
Yeah. So I don't do what most practitioners do. Most hypnotherapists or practitioners, that's their business, is they'll sit down with you and work through traumas, triggers, and help you really deeply get rid of those trauma responses. I don't really do that. I can. That's not how I built my business. I use hypnosis in a different way. So, for instance, Andrew, if someone were to come to you, let's say on a sales call, what I teach my sales reps and my clients is what to look for in their eyes, look for stress responses, look to see if they're overwhelmed. And that's called arousal of the brain. So I'm
Hmm.
teaching you the psychology of people so that you could become a better sales rep. So where other people try to teach sales and they teach sales psychology, but I'm teaching you what to look for in the body. So when someone comes on your call like this, they're overstimulated, right? And I know I need to calm you down. So we're not going to talk business. I'm going to actually change your mind. And I want to focus on something else so that we can get that arousal down so you can actually tap into the logical sense of your brain.
Hmm.
So what happens is when someone doesn't know that or isn't skilled, they start to add more stress and they
Hmm.
go, I can't convert these sales. Well, you can't convert the sales because what you're doing is you already have a wall up because they're stressed and you're adding more bricks to that wall. Your job is to take the bricks off. But if you don't understand the brain and how the physical body responds, which is called a visceral effect, then you can't lead them to a different conversation to close them.
Yeah.
So that's what makes my program very unique. I teach all those things. So it's pretty
Yeah. I
cool.
mean, I would say I haven't talked to a lot of coaches that do that kind of stuff. That's
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of cool.
That's really fun.
And I would think a lot of people are overstimulated. I know I am. I have literally four screens right here.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah, 100%. The cool part is when you look at the eyes, you look at blink rate and all that stuff, I can literally tell you immediately where they're at. I can really
hmm,
change the conversation and then put them
hmm.
in a very good state of mind and then be able to close the deal for them. And that's
I
what I
need
want.
that with my kids, man. That's what I need.
Yeah, that it would work for them too. So once you understand that, it makes sense.
If you could help me snap a 3-year old out of a meltdown, that would be worth a lot of money to me.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's hypnosis. What a lot of people don't realize is we're already in trance. Like when you're listening to music, you're in trance. When you're listening to someone speak, you're in trance. That's hypnosis. So now what we're doing is reprogramming the mind, and that's what makes us make decisions that we do because of the trance that we're in. And a lot
hmm,
of people don't talk about that because it's a form of manipulation. And manipulation has a bad name to it because it's a negative thing for certain people. Well,
hmm.
manipulation just means we're moving things. So if I know how to move your mind to be in a better state, that's what that means. And I'm just helping you make a conscious decision. So
Yeah,
that's important.
yeah, I love it. Joel, what anything else that we haven't talked about today?
Oh gosh, I mean, there's a lot of things, but that's up to you.
No, this is great, man. This has been a lot of fun. I love anytime somebody speaks to lots of business owners. I always find it fascinating because you get to see the whole thing in broad strokes.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think are some opportunities right now for blue collar guys that maybe not a lot of people are talking about?
I think the opportunity right now is the boomers, right? There's a lot of word on online. Everybody's like talking about the gurus and stuff, but they're being honest. They're in the industry of buying these companies out. There's a lot of baby boomers, and what they're trying to do is retire. And I think we're in this 10-year time frame right now that this is the time to buy blue collar businesses, honestly, or start a blue collar business. with all the AI that's going on, there's so much opportunity right now. And I really want to encourage guys that there's so much out there to help you guys set yourselves up for success. Even if it's not me, there's so many people out there that have a blueprint that worked for them. And I would just highly recommend, hey, find someone that's already did it, doing the path that you're trying to achieve. Honestly, like any kind of trade is a very low entry barrier to start a business. I'm such a fanatic of home services, and the people are amazing. The communities out there, you'd be shocked how many great communities are there to help support you for free and give you free advice. So I think today is the opportunity for the next decade. Get started right now if you're looking at getting in the trades for real.
I love that. I actually, after talking to all these pest control guys, I'm like, look, I could start one with my kids and like walk around the neighborhood and just spray for some ants and protect for some mice. And man, there's a huge opportunity there. I agree. And yeah, it's interesting. I office with some M&A guys, and I'm in the heart of private equity land here in Colorado. Yeah. And it's interesting to always hear like what's the flavor of the month and like what companies are doing. And there's such an opportunity right now in that space. And then it's AI proof, which is why PE loves it so much.
100%. I know a lot of guys that are having huge exits. I mean, I knew a guy in Arizona, his exit was $95 million from his pest control business.
I want to talk to that guy.
I'll connect you guys. He's super cool, super great guy. So, but yeah, I mean, it's out there, right? And what a great opportunity for us to learn these things and be able to do that and give back to our community.
Joel, where can people learn more about you and your business if they want to learn more?
Yeah, you can find me. I'm very active on Instagram. I try to stay on one platform, even though they're all connected and stuff. But if they find me on Instagram on Joel Mercado Official and you DM me there, I mean, I'm constantly giving free content. I invite people all the time to my sales calls, my leadership calls, my production calls. I just love to give back. It was given to me. I want to pass the baton. So, you can find me there, and that's where the most active I am.
I love it, man. Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Don't go anywhere because I want to keep talking, but thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.